Shoot my shot like a Quincy, then I shoot till it's empty. Then repeat till you're empty, then make it hit like I'm Quincy. Switchblade, Bankai, I black in my entry. Take a L, not I, need a hero, then they send me. On top where I'm info, y'all don't know what y'all info. Man say he got something for me, then I hit the plug for the info. He like tenfold, man, whatever you need, don't worry, I got it in tenfold. Blade big, take out tenfolds, watch, I'ma show you how you tenfold. Look, I got ice, Rukia, think you better who you fooling, bro. Write his name on a bullet to shoot, that's how the message get through to you. Gazuka, Tensho, if I raise the metal, then it's spit in your ear. When I know you better, that's an interview slash. You cut him short, that's an interlude look. I'm the rookie of the year, don't get bodied by the newcomer. You are not in my tier, I don't really gotta prove nothing. If you rappers wanna do something, better be ready to lose something. I don't go around, I'm going through something. Masked up, how the crew coming, yeah. Out of my element, I can still hang with a veteran. I started behind you, tell me how I end up ahead of me. How I feel to lose to someone you thought you was better than. That's what happens when you sleeping on me like a sedative. Lately I've been feeling kinda high. It's crazy, you know one that like.
Hello. Waving on to the neighbors. Good evening, YouTube. How's everybody doing? Of course, I'm outside still. Our guys shut down, so I'm doing it outside. And I'm hot. Got the sun beaming on my ass. But we're gonna do this anyways. Now, we got a regular show right now. The No Excuse reaction. And I got this clip off of Melanie King's channel now. It popped up on my shit. I don't think we should talk about it. It's like a 7-minute clip. But we're gonna talk about it. Let's go.
The man who has, going back to like the 90-day rule thing and men trying to fit into women thinking that they're being in control and, you know, controlling how things are going, but men really having the big joker, like really, you know, pulling the trump card. But I was having a conversation with a man who talked about a woman who had like a 90-day rule and she had verbalized it. Big mistake. So she talked to him about it. You know, she's holding him to this standard and he literally told me, like, yeah, I just did what I had to do to get to the 90 days, you know, just basically to get her back for playing games with him. Playing games with him. Like, he did all of the right things. Told me this out of his mouth, that he did all of the right things, had these conversations, like took her out, did all of the things to play the game. So what is your advice for women who are watching for the red flags, asking the questions, like thinking that they're doing their due diligence, and then they're just dealing with like a fraud?
Okay, before he goes and say what he has to say. Who is still trying to do that goddamn 90-day rule? That rule only works for virgins. Okay? That only works for virgins. Okay? If you already got kids, okay? You already your own home. That shit doesn't work. Doesn't work. Okay? Let's put it this way. Dude's trying to mess with you, and you tell him he has to wait for the 90 days. This means he will take you out on a date, and when she drops you off, he's going to go to some other tail and get some tails. Okay? That's literally how it is. You're going to put a man on hold like that and expect him to do other shit. Why should he have to wait 90 days with something that's already been broken in? Why should he have to wait 90 days for leftovers? That shit only works if you're a virgin. Now, if you're a 30-year-old virgin, kudos to you. Do your 90 days. But, you already been in the field, and you already got like tons of guy friends, and you want a nigga to do it in 90 days when you got tons of guy friends? Oh, no. Red fucking flag. You gotta go. Because that's not due diligence. That's just bullshit. Exactly what she said. The dude did everything she wanted for the 90 days. And then he gets the pussy bounce. You know why? Because you wasn't worked that 90 days. Let's keep going and hear what he has to say.
So I'm very skeptical of any situation that proclaims that this man just fooled you the entire time. I always say a lot of times women don't get played, they play themselves. All right?
Girl, stop. Did he just say that? Okay. He dropped the bomb.
They see something They pick up, and even if you can't say you saw something specific, they sense, yes, they felt like something's not right. But again, they try to ignore it. So to me, you've got to be strong as a woman in the sense of accepting your intuition. Stop denying it. Stop running from it. And if you're spiritual, you've got to go to God and pray about the situation and asking God, not just looking for signs, hearing it in your spirit, like, this is what I need to do right now. Because again, I don't think anyone's that good of a liar. I think that you let someone talk enough, they're going to expose themselves. You just have to know how to keep them talking. And so that requires conversations, asking questions, diving deeper, because it's very easy for people to either, when they give you a BS answer, you can sense it, or they just dance around the situation or dismiss it altogether. You know what I'm saying? So, and then there's just certain questions that men will and women will expose themselves on. Like if you ask a dude questions about handling finances in a relationship, he's very likely to tell you straight up what it is. So if you don't like the way that he does things, you don't have to keep guessing. You know what I'm saying? But you just have to have those conversations. But we tend, when I say we, society tends to be scared to dive deeper early on. It's like, well, I don't want to run this person away. Yeah, but it's like, yo, if they run away because you're diving deeper, they're not for you.
Exactly.
That's the way you weed them out.
Yep.
Now, I recently said this to someone. Proper communication makes you have a better relationship. Okay? This is where we fall apart at, because girls lost proper communication strategies. And some guys do too. Some guys act like bitches and get all emotional and shit. Emotional damage. You get what I'm saying? I'm not even gonna use the clip, but you know what the fuck I'm talking about, right? So, in a conversation, take your emotions out of it. Okay? You gotta hear what the other person has to say. You don't listen to what the other person has to say. You're not taking in any information, which means you're not trying to solve the problem, which means you're ignoring and going to exacerbate the situation. Okay? A proper conversation takes someone to say what they have to say, let them get to the period, and then rebut what they had to say. Not cut them the fuck off once they get 3 words out. How do you know what the fuck that person is going to say when they only have 3 words come out their mouth? Okay? Not even a full fucking sentence. That's just the start of a sentence. Do you get what I'm saying? So how do you have a conversation when you don't let the other person talk? And that's a big problem for a lot of people right now. Cutting people off and not paying attention to what the fuck people are saying. You feel me? And no one's that good of a liar. Everybody got to tell. Everybody body language tells on them. Everybody tells on them goddamn selves all the time. No one's the superb liar. The only one that's a superb liar is the devil. And guess what? You can read that shit too. So understand. Gotta have them conversations. You feel me? And guys, you gotta like shut the fuck up. Let them talk. Same with some of you girls. Shut the fuck up. Let them talk. You actually let a person talk, they'll tell you everything you need to know about it. Then you can make an educated decision to do something with them or not. But if you don't let them talk, you don't pay attention, you don't listen, you're just awestruck about the money and how this nigga swag is, then guarantee you're going to epic fail. You get what I'm saying? And that's what he's saying right there. It's never going to work out. It's never going to work out. It's going to stay tragic. Okay? Proper communication, understanding your counterpart, understanding the person you're talking to. You feel me? And the only way you can do that is by listening. That's what he's getting at. I've been saying it in tons of videos already. Listen. Shut the fuck up and listen. All right, let's keep going.
And that was literally a question.
And the biggest difference between men and women, keep waiting for the one and put that woman to the side, but we will fix the wrong one, hoping that he becomes Mr. Right.
Question that I have here, because women do have such a hard time asking questions because they don't want to be annoying, they don't want to push too much, they don't want to turn you off. So how do you toe the line between being interested and being inquisitive and digging deep, but not like being annoying?
Again, annoying is a perception based off of likability. Basically meaning, let's look at it from a woman's perspective. If 10 guys DM a woman right now, hey, you're beautiful, right? And you look at them dudes and all 10, they don't like them. So to you, they're annoying, they're thirsty, whatever. Mr. 11 says the same thing. Hey, beautiful. But you like this dude, and now you're flattered. This is cute. It's not the action. It's how much you like them, and as well when it comes to women, it's the energy that you're giving off when you're asking these questions.
That's true.
If you're asking with an energy of interrogation, of being hard and having an attitude, and that can happen when you ask the question because you're expecting a negative answer. You can't go into the conversation expecting something bad. You have to.
So he's saying what I basically just said. Okay. If you go into the conversation negatively, you cut people off and stuff, you automatically think you know it all. You lose that conversation. And if it's an argument, you definitely lose that argument. Okay? No matter how much you deflect, no matter how much you try to change the subject, you're gonna lose that shit. Because you're wrong, period. Okay? The energy, okay, let's just put it this way. Human beings run off of three things. We run off of energy, we run off of water, and we run off of contact. Human contact, you feel me? Now, this goes this with your chakras and your spirit, okay? The energy you project is more of what you get. This is why in the Bible it says, why am I drawing a blank right now? Okay, this is why in the Bible it says treat people like you want to be treated. Give the energy that you want to receive. So if you're throwing out negative energy all the time, that's exactly what you're going to get. But if you actually come in with a balanced energy, balanced thought, you feel me, not with aggressive all the time, you're actually soft in your normal state. Now if your normal state is aggressive, you need some serious help. You need to let go of a whole lot of shit because you're bringing it along with you and it's not going to help you at all. Forget it. Okay? Stop dating your psychiatrist. But if you can regulate, do your woosah, count to 10, whatever the fuck you got to do to bounce yourself back down, you do it. Then you have a conversation without all that negative energy. Coming in positive, coming in normal, on a balance. Then as the conversation goes, the energy can flow either way if you get the information to make it though. But if you start off with the all you're gonna get is the back. You get what I'm saying?
Go in, believe either clean slate or believing something positive, but prepared for something negative. You see what I'm saying? Because when you prepare for negative, you project that. And that's the energy that's making you come off annoying or what's wrong with her? Nah, she got problems and now I don't want to deal with her no more.
So what are some of those red flags that women
So this is so true. It
can be showing that they might not recognize, or that you don't know that you're presenting. Like I might talk too much, but I don't know that I talk too much. I might say the wrong things. Maybe I'm not talking too much, but I'm telling everybody all my business on the first date. Like what are some of the, give us the game. Like how can they get past, we sick of these first dates, Stefan, we gotta get past.
Okay, let's put it this way. She's saying get past the first date stuff. All right, you can get past the first date stuff if you actually do it right. That's the problem. You want to get past the first date stuff. First, you got to do that shit right. If you don't do it right, the rest is still going to fall on the wayside no matter what the fuck you do. You get what I'm saying? If you're not choosing or doing your shit right at the start, it's going to fall apart. Rocky foundation falls apart. That's exactly what the fuck it happens. Okay? Rocky foundation falls apart. Construction right there. Okay? But that's also how your relationships and your lives work. It's the framework of what you do. Okay, so a lot of people stay on at that first initial, but you up there trying to tell your business on the first go, on the first date and shit. You don't have to tell all your business on your first date. Understand who you are. You don't have to tell your whole life story. You just have to tell them who the fuck you are. But if you don't understand and can't even put into words who you are, what you will do, what would you like to do? If you can't put that in the words, that means you don't know yourself. So stop trying to find somebody else. Figure your shit out. And that goes for guys too. Figure your shit out. Because literally that's it. You gotta figure your shit out. You gotta come into the shit full person, a functional person, okay? I'm not even gonna say functional bitch because it's going for both sides right now. Functional person, a functional nigga and a functional bitch. Functional person. You come in as a functional person with a balanced head, then hey, it's easier to read a whole lot of the fuckery and you can just bypass it. Okay? But if you coming in sideways with a negative mindset, a preconception about a person or a misconception about a person, assuming a whole lot of shit, guaranteed to fail. So if she's trying to swing past the wayside and shit, sorry. Now he wants to go and jump in this rules thing. We're going to let him talk and then I'll come in back after that.
Number one.
Again, I think, remember, like somebody once said, rules are for people you don't like. So basically, when we like the person enough, we're way more flexible. So again, we have to understand that some of this is just based on the fact that it just wasn't clicking like that.
Okay, he slightly pandered on that one. Nowadays, you must have rules. A real man has rules in their fucking house, okay? It's the female job to understand their man and understand their rules and don't break them, okay? Back in the day, the rules were basically universal. But now, people got their little perks here and there and blah, blah. You know what I mean? So, when you link up with a dude, understand his rules. Ask him, like, you know, what would you like, what would you don't like? You feel me? Have the conversation. Because I throw guidelines out all damn day on mine, for real. This is what you shouldn't do. This is what's permitted. Okay? You slip over that line, I'm going to get aggressive. And that's exactly how it is. You feel me? Tell them where the boundary lines is. If you do not give them any rules, they will do whatever the fuck. You have to rule things up nowadays. This is why the whole king-queen thing. You follow the king's rules. He's the king of the house. Follow his fucking rules. This is where we get the roles misplaced right now because he wants to pander. No. Don't listen to that shit. Men, you must have your rules to your life. You cannot let the one that's supposed to be on your side, you cannot let this go willy-nilly without them knowing the fucking rules. Okay? They don't know the rules, then what the fuck? Quit throwing acorns out this world. But anyways, if they don't know the rules, then what the fuck? Okay? They just gonna do whatever. And this is why we got so much issues right now. Because the rules are thrown out the window. The roles are thrown out the window. I had a video on that already. Double back in my catalog, y'all. So, if you don't have the roles right, and you don't have the rules right, how you gonna teach that to your kids? How is this progressing any fucking further? You know what I'm saying? You got to have rules. Even in a boyfriend-girlfriend relationship, there must be some fucking rules. She got her guidelines and rules. You got your guidelines and rules. You feel me? There's only certain things you're permitted to do, and there's certain things I'm permitted to do. Cool. We rock that. But if there's no rules, man, these fucking bitches left and right, and you fucking niggas left and right, and then you come back find out, hey, wait a minute, that's my cousin. Oh no. Please don't tell me you fuck daddy. You have situations like that. You feel me? This is why there's so much of that bullshit on the internet right now. Because no one knows the fucking rules. Rules and guidelines and regulations to the whole thing. There's rules to life. There's rules to spirituality. There's rules to fucking everything. There is rules to the trees growing. There is rules to the animals in the wild. So there is rules. Follow them. Things go out better. Okay? Now, I ain't talking about the rules and laws of man. No, I'm talking about the rules of life. The actual rules set by the Almighty. You feel me? These rules were like set in stone, set in your blood, set in your soul, and you want to run against it. Don't run against it. Run to the flow that you're supposed to. That's why you feeling all weird and stuff and all out of pocket and not feeling yourself, because you're running negative to what your nature is. This is why you're getting so depressed on all that shit, and this is why you're wearing all that makeup to disguise yourself and shit, because you're not liking yourself. You get what I'm saying? So understand that. Follow the rules. There has to be rules, dude. Ladies, let's go.
There's no way around it. You can't force anything to happen. But one thing that popped in my head when you were asking that was, and I will say this, I think the average man doesn't even pay attention to this. I pay attention to this, and I still think it's something that women should be mindful of, is when he is talking, are you jumping in before he even finishes? Are you over talking him? Now, people will say, well, I'm getting excited. I don't mean to cut him. No, but it shows you're not presently listening. And if I'm talking to men, I'm telling them that's a red flag they need to be mindful of. Because now what's gonna happen is, as you go further in that relationship and y'all having discussions, she don't listen no more. She always overtalks you, always jumps in, cuts you off, and that's gonna cause a problem. And so now,
I wanted to say something, but I was holding it in.
and that's where a lot of things go wrong, because then what happens is,
now he kind of fell short on that one, but he's right. Okay. But it's also a disrespect. You feel me? Another thing about the respect thing. You feel me? If you keep cutting the person off when they're trying to say something, especially when you ask them to say something and give you information and you keep cutting the person off, that's disrespectful as a motherfucker. You do not care what that person has to say. You do not care what that person feels. You just don't care. Disrespectful as fuck. And the more you cut a person off, the more they feel that disrespect. And then the more that disrespect is going to come back to you. So understand, allow people to talk. Hear and listen. Then rebut. But if you let your emotions take control and you just emotional vomit, you know what I mean? You ain't listening, you ain't learning, and you ain't gonna get nowhere. Period.
And it's a crazy thing, because so the woman kind of dominates the conversation in that way, jumping in, cutting them off. And a lot of men, instead of correcting that situation with her, letting her know this is not acceptable, they cower to it. And now they end up becoming more silent. But then that only pisses her off even more, because now you're not talking. Why aren't you opening up? So it just creates a snowball effect of negative problems, and it's like, it's just not worth it. So it needs to be nipped in the bud as early as possible. And of course, that goes for both sides. Both people need to learn to listen when the person is talking. Let them finish, then make your statement.
Guys, I will admit,
Okay, that's it for that clip. And that was off of Melanie King's channel. You can check out her alternate video on her channel, Melanie King. I like your name. So, final thought. You gotta hear people. You gotta listen. If you don't listen, you can't understand. You can't get into the mind of a person if you ain't listening to what they have to say. So, what we learned today, people, listening is valuable. Let a person finish. Be respectful. Let a person finish what they have to say, then rebut. Okay? Come into the conversation calm, not with negative energy. Stop assuming this person's like the others you were with. Okay? Understand. Now, if they tell you a whole lot of the same shit that's happened with the others, then yes, they're like the others. That's giving you the sign that you need to go away. That's not for you. Okay? But if you come in negative and automatically projecting that, then you're ruining it off the top. Period. It goes for guys and girls. Okay? And yes, at the fucking start, I already said this before, at the fucking start, rules and regulations must be done. Okay? Shoot, my last relationship, I'm telling you, the first fucking thing I say to the girls that's trying to mess with me, do not treat me like the other motherfuckers. If you treat me like the motherfuckers, you can get the fuck on. And that's dead ass. Nowhere near the other motherfuckers that you fucked with, because if you were fucking with some decent motherfuckers, you would be with that motherfucker. If you were actually with a real dude, then you would be with that real dude. If you were actually stable, then you would be stable. So stop saying things you think you are. Understand what you are. Okay? That's the only way you can progress, is by understanding yourself. Then you can get into a relationship with somebody else much easier. And a proper relationship at that. So this has been my show. You saw it. That was an interesting conversation. So please like, subscribe, leave a comment, tell me what to do. Catch y'all later.
Feeling kinda hollow. It's crazy, I'm the one